What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you some Rising Star content today. Yeah, I know. I don't know when the last time I did a video on this game was, but it has been a while. And I'm going to tell you right now, right off the bat, I just want to share an idea for this project because I do want to see it succeed. I do want to see a lot of these projects on Hive, a lot of these games on Hive succeed. And a quick update on where things are at for me. I'm still continuing to play the game. I have a millionaire card, which makes it worthwhile. I take whatever portion of that to reinvest and buy cards every day, or at least a single card that will allow me to run the millionaire mission tomorrow. But I still do a bunch of the 5-minute missions. I still do an overnight mission. I'm still building up my music lessons and acquiring skill points. So I have been playing every day. It's easy to play. You just have to remember or set a timer or something. So I have been playing. What I haven't been doing is I'm not really involved in the community, so I haven't really been in the Discord. I actually just went to check it out today. Everybody was talking about soccer and World Cup, which is cool, but I don't know what's going on in terms of overall development for the game. So I apologize if you, if you are leaps and bounds ahead of me. I just wanted to talk about an idea that I was recently discussing on a live stream. Now, that being said, I worry about Splinter, or sorry, not Splinter, but Starbits, the token, just because, I mean, this thing has essentially gone to pretty much zero. And it's not that I want to say I told you so, but I was worried about the tokenomics in previous Rising Star videos. And this is something that Jukes has openly admitted that it's not been a major focus for him, which I appreciated his honesty, right? He wants to build a fun and exciting game. And this is, more so just a passion for him. He just wants to have fun with, he just wants to have fun with it. And part of me was bullish on the success of this game purely due to that, right? Again, I think that there's a lot of areas which need to be looked at, but sometimes the best things come from just pure passion, right? And so that interview that he did with Luke Plays to Earn many, many months ago, that was one of my biggest takeaways from that interview. Was just like, oh, okay, well, like he's not thinking through this in terms of like the details of the tokenomics and the economy and all that. But he just wants to make a game, and he's here to like just do that, which I thought was interesting. If a bit naive, if I'm being honest, but we are in crypto world, so these assets have value. They earn money, and at the end of the day, people are going to try and find ways to exploit the system. So that being said, when you have a token like Starbits, this thing, I don't remember it. Has it really gone down like 99%? I think it might have. It's been pretty brutal. Let's just put it that way. I mean, this thing has essentially collapsed and is fighting to just stay relevant. No, I guess it's not. I don't know how far it's come down. It's definitely come down a lot since the beginning of the year. Point being that I think it's time for the team to take a closer look at the tokenomics. That being said, that's not actually what I wanted to talk about in this video. I am thinking through some ideas for the tokenomics, but I don't know that I'm necessarily smart enough to figure that out, and I don't know what they have planned. What I do think the team should be focused on, or Jukes, I should say, should be focused on, and let's actually go over to Rising Star, is creating another element or another gameplay loop within this. Right now, it's just an idle clicker or a click to earn. And yeah, there's certain ways in which you can optimize your energy and your fans and how you go about, planning what you're doing. But there's so much more, in my opinion, that could be done. Now, I don't know. Again, I'm not technical, so I don't know what this would take from a development side. But I do think that there is quite a bit of opportunity here. There's definitely a player base that exists for this game. And so, I would love to see some innovation and some development focusing on bringing the game to the next level. Now, one of the things that I think Rising Star does really well, actually, compared to even something like a Splinterlands, which is obviously at a different level in terms of development, but Rising Star has this nice level of progression, this feeling of progression within the game. You earn experience points, right? You earn ego. You don't really earn ego, but you get ego. You have skill that you have to go and get. So there's this sense of progression over time that doesn't just reset at the end of every season. In fact, there's no seasons here in Rising Star. It is your career, and you just kind of move forward with it, right? And I really like that element because, again, that feeling of progression is what makes games so addictive. You want to feel like A, you're getting better at the game, and then B, you're actually moving forward within the game. Well, Rising Star isn't a game where you feel like you can get better, but that's where I want to focus on. Now, let's go over here to the cards and what I think the team should do, or what Jukes should do, and I'm just throwing this out there, is I think that they should copy Splinterlands. Just plain and simple, right? Now, the thing is, it's not about being the first one there. And it's not even about being the best one in the space. You see people copying each other all the time, but Splinterlands has laid a solid blueprint out, and you have other projects like Woo, for example, that are going to create a similar style of auto battler. Now, again, that is not fully developed, and they're still working on so many things with it, but I think that there's an opportunity here because you have so many assets already within the game that you could create some kind of auto battler that you could brand as a battle of the bands type of deal, right? And when you look at a lot of these cards already, so if we look at the people cards, for example, I mean, these things already have 4 different kinds of stats here, right? There's already also rarities, which shouldn't really matter overall in the game, but it's just like, there's a bunch of different stats. So you got your fans, your luck, your skill, your multiplier, I believe is what it is. And obviously, as you go down further into a lot of the rare, epic, or legendary cards, these have higher numbers across the board. So not every card will have utility, and not every card needs to have utility. But immediately, you can start getting some other kind of value from these cards if you create some kind of auto battler that utilizes all of the different stats. You could also throw in, think, and I know a lot of this is going to be shaded with Splinterland stuff, just because that's where my head is at when thinking about auto battlers. But it's just like, Splinterlands, is planning to do some type of spells and stuff whenever land comes out, spells and items, sorry, there you go. But you already have some items here where you could be like, all right, well, let me equip my guy with a guitar, let me equip my guy with a microphone and add, increase the luck, things like that, right? Or there could be specific not missions, but different like rule sets within each type of battle of the bands where you go and it's just like, all right, well, you got to do something where you play like a drum machine or a drum related thing with a specific person or somebody who has 100 fans, whatever, right? You could also you could also include things like vehicles, which have a lot of the same or similar stats, but are technically different cards, right? And there's plenty of them to go around. Lots of different options that people get, boosters, others. There's so many things that exist within this ecosystem that all it takes. And I don't say this lightly because making a game is not easy. Creating a framework for a game is not easy. But all it takes is just thinking through what could be fun. How could we take all of the different pieces that already exist, that many people own different assets for, and just create something fun with it, right? And it doesn't need to be super advanced. It doesn't need, there don't need to be seasons and leaderboards and all that stuff. Just create something basic. See how people like it. See if you can get that addictive feeling that people who play Splinterlands or other card games can get playing this. And then if you can get that, start moving it forward, right? Take the development to the next step, but just cut it down into baby steps. Cause if you look at this and be like, all right, what do we want to have? Well, we want to have a Splinterland style game or an MTG or Hearthstone style game that has a bunch of different play styles and all this different, competitive esports tournaments, all these different things in there. It gets out of hand real quick, right? And the mountain looks too big. But if you just break it down step by step so that you can just be like, all right, what is our goal? What is our first goal? Well, okay, we want to have some kind of game. We want to have some kind of incentive. We want to have some kind of use case for, somebody that has only one skill, for example, right? Like your glam rocker. How can we do, how can we add something in? And if it's just a simple auto battler, you start there and then you build upon it. And I think Rising Star, out of a lot of games that exist on Hive, Rising Star is in a unique position where it's free to play. It is free to come in and start playing this game. Now, I haven't figured out what the play to earn elements are going to be, and I don't know how that's going to affect the tokenomics, but I'm looking just for cool games. And since I already own a lot of assets within Rising Star, I think this could be an interesting pivot or an interesting feature development for them to add. What this does for Starbit's price, I don't know. But I'll think through that a little bit more. And I know there's also Star Pro, but there's 2 tokens here, and you could find a way almost to create, once again, a very similar structure to what Splinterlands is doing, where maybe you have a governance token and maybe you have a payment token like Starbits that, in one way or another, allows you to create some kind of stablecoin. Again, I know we're using the Splinterlands template, but I do believe Splinterlands has done a fantastic job of creating a game that has survived, not just survived, but thrived as well, as long as it has. Obviously, we're in a bear market now. There was bad news last week, but point being is that they're still around and they still have a solid team putting together many, many more releases in the future. So that's my pitch to Jukes, the Rising Star team, to the community. I feel like there's so many assets here that could get secondary use cases, and I don't know what's involved with that. I don't know what you need for that in terms of like the technical side, but it would be really cool. And as somebody in the community who wants this game to succeed, this is just my humble opinion and an idea that I'm freely sharing because I want to see this stuff. I don't have the knowledge and the technical skill set to make something like this happen. So I just try to put out ideas. That's what this whole channel is. It's just all my opinion. I just try to put out ideas that hopefully will spark something in somebody who is talented and knowledgeable, and also has the passion and execution to make something like that happen, because I don't have that specific, combination of skills. I'm a musician, right? Creative means something completely different to me, but I love what they're doing here. I think the community's cool. I think Jukes is a great guy, and I would love to see this succeed. So just my idea. Would love to get your thoughts though in the comments below. What are you thinking about? Am I heading in the right direction? Does this sound like something that would be interesting, draw you back into the game or into the game in general? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.